So how's everybody feeling today?
Tired.
I'm tired.
Good.
It's alright?
Good day.
Tired from the workout or life activities?
Really expresses it well, right?
Yeah,
That's how I
exemplified.
That's whenever we get to do yoga, the best part I feel is the shavasana at the end. Feel myself falling asleep. So, are there first timers leaving out the door? How do you feel today? Good. It's not too scary.
No.
And just as most of you know, every week is we do something a little bit different. So if you didn't really like today's workout, then maybe next week's for you. So, and we'll talk about next week too. But so this week is going to be my last week. 3 weeks ago, we started talking about how to reconnect with life's joys. Different things that I was doing when I was 60 pounds heavier, and it wasn't just me eating too much. There was a lot of other things going on, and I think eating and drinking were really how I dealt with those things in my life. It's what covered up the things that I was dealing with, and so for me to come out of that, I had to figure out what that was, what those things were, and how to come out of that. And so that's why we're talking about how to reconnect with life's joys. So last week we talked about how to fill your cup, fill my cup and let it overflow with love. That in order for us to really take care of others and to show love towards others, we've got to make sure that we are full first and that we're overflowing into others, rather than keep emptying ourselves, whether it's in your job or just your lifestyle to take care of people and love on people, that we need to be taking care of ourselves, or else all of a sudden we're empty, and then we're not doing them any good, and we're not doing ourselves any good. And the week prior to that, we talked about giving, and how often when you feel like you're in a rut, that giving in different ways, that is a nice way for me, that's worked for me to get out of those personal ruts. And so this last one we kind of touched on last week, but I want it to be a whole week, or a whole segment. It's personal growth. I realized that after 22 years that I was finally done with school. You start with preschool and kindergarten, and then you go through elementary and middle school and high school, and you have to be there. I chose to go to college for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I was done. And I stopped growing, I stopped learning, and I feel like that was where I really disconnected from growth, and why I wasn't really connecting with life's goals, with life's joys. And so today, we're going to talk about that a little bit. So prior to this healthy, active lifestyle, like I said, I was doing my job. I was working at 3 churches doing music. I had the ability to have an impact, but I wasn't personally taking care of myself. I wasn't growing, I wasn't learning, and so it got to a point where I didn't really feel like I had any connection, any purpose with life. And so the way I decided to cut those feelings of inadequacy was I'd go out and drink, or I'd go out and be with people who didn't help me grow, who didn't push me to be a better person. Woo, stutter. And so I'm very thankful that I came into a company like Herbalife. Again, some people know different things about Herbalife. What I've come to know about Herbalife is that it's really a personal development company wrapped around coaching and nutrition. And so really what it called me out on was that I wasn't growing. And so something I learned was that human beings are the only creatures or living things that stop growing before they reach their fullest potential. You see a tree or a plant, it'll grow, and it'll grow and grow and grow, and then it dies. Animals, they grow and they learn about their surroundings, and then their life is over. Humans, I'd say for the most part, get to a certain point and stop. And that's why I talked about how, most humans die when they're 25, but they don't compare it to their 85. We stop growing. We stop striving to be better, no matter what area it's in. So these are some of the things that I learned from personal growth, from personal development. The only way things can change is if you change. Whether it's in your eating habits, your mindset, how you treat others, how you are treated, where you work. Those things don't change unless you change. Life doesn't hand you anything. Life doesn't give you anything. You don't deserve anything. You have to change if you're not in the place that you want to be. I learned that I shouldn't be asking for things to be easier in my life. I shouldn't ask for people to be nicer. That I should ask to be better. That I should ask to be stronger so that I can rise to the occasion rather than other people lower themselves or other situations lower themselves so that I can handle it. That I have to be better to meet those things. I learned that we need to live a life of health because often the things in our outside realm are a reflection of our inside realm. And so if it's in our head or what we're putting into our body, that'll often replicate itself on the outside world. And I learned how to surround myself with winners. How to surround myself with people who are like-minded, who are going to support my goals and my dreams. And that's what we're doing here, right? Is finding people who are in the same life path, who are looking to be healthier, who are looking to be a little bit more positive, who are looking to grow. That's what we've got here. And when I was stuck at the bar, throwing 20s over, honeys. Sorry, new girl quotes. I surrounded myself with people who were doing those things, so I continued to do those things. It was okay because I didn't have people who wanted me to be better. I didn't have to work hard to be a better person because I was comfortable. And so I learned that we need to surround ourselves with people who have that same direction in mind. I learned to be a lifelong learner. I never lifted a book prior to Herbalife other than Harry Potter. My mom can agree with that. And it wasn't, even when I was in school, I would do everything I could to make it through without having to do the work. I didn't want to learn. I didn't want to learn those ways. Reading wasn't for me, just like breakfast wasn't for me. And I had to learn that to be a lifelong learner, that it often includes books. So I just have a couple things from a very simple and easy read that I thought was right along with that lifelong learner. How many people do you know that graduated high school or college and then figured they knew everything they needed to know to live life? And that's where I was at. It isn't that you don't learn good things in college. You do. It's just that it isn't what will make you successful in life. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. You can graduate from your formal education, and the masses do, but the great writer Thoreau said that the masses lead lives of quiet desperation, go to the grave with a song still in them, which just makes me think about what we're talking about. Die at 25, buried when we're 85. Self-education is what you teach yourself. It is what you learn along the way so that you are constantly improving and growing. If someone is going down the wrong path, which is where I was at, he doesn't need motivation to speed him up. He needs education to turn him around. Learning is the beginning. So this is, when it says makes you a fortune, you might think that a fortune is different things. And so this is where it touches on that. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of health. Learning is the beginning of spirituality. Searching and learning is where the miracle process all begins. That education is self-education. Most of life is lived after your formal education. That means the rest is up to you. The state makes you go to school through 12th grade, then most people choose college, but the truly successful decide to learn the rest of their lives. There are a few mainstays to learning that anyone can use to improve their lives. The first is to read books. And that is something that I had to learn. Now it's very rare if I'm not reading anywhere between 4 and 6 books at a time. Which some people need one at a time, some people need many. It's how I've chosen. Second is to learn from successful people by observation. How do we learn how to be rich in whatever category? Find the people who have already done it and learn from them, those successful people who have paved the way. And the third is to constantly reflect on your own experiences and learn what went right and what went wrong. And so to end and finish this, this 3-week of how to reconnect with life's joys, I challenge you to find, to reflect where you're at and what do you want to learn? How do you want to grow? If you're like, I have no idea how to connect with this, again, talk to somebody who does. I've got a whole library. I've been reading for years, ever since I started that 5 years ago. I'm sure there's several people in here. How do you learn from the presidents and the people from the past who were successful in our history, or even right now? They're not alive or around, and you'll never get the chance to meet them even if they are. But there's books where you can get into their head and learn from them. So if you have any desire or any questions, please talk to me and talk to a friend. Go to the library. It's so rewarding, and it's something that's really, really, really corrected me on the path in the direction that I want to go. So, thank you guys for everything this week. Great work today.